Do, 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 do. That's about the best I can do today. One day closer to the weekend, and that makes today Friday Eve.
It's such a good morning.
The day before the weekend kicks off for a lot of you folks. It's also the day before the 8th game for our undefeated Jacksonville Cardinals. Go Cards. Got a really big game Friday. That's tomorrow. And it would be great to fill the home team stands. Game time is 7 p.m. More about that coming up later this morning when we cross paths with Chris Miller, the distinguished sports editor for the Jacksonville Daily News. And we'll probably, by tomorrow morning, we'll have some more news. Without further ado, I'm Rayford Brown. Time for a really big shoe.
I'm Chris Marks with a new filling.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Lee Barrels, and I'm just happy this morning.
A new filling. I was in filling station.
I stopped at one to get some Petro to go to New Bern and get one.
Oh,
yeah, it was fun.
Boy, how words can be used in so many different ways. I happen to know that you were headed to see your dentist. Kind of figured out what filling was, but you have to stop at a filling station to get some gasoline before you go get the filling put in your mouth.
Yeah.
This must be really confusing language to those poor people out there that don't know anything.
My first thought is that a happy feeling, or
Happy
are you
feeling.
sad? Do you need counseling?
Well,
She went a different direction.
Kathy made a dessert for our council meeting last night at the church, and she used apple filling. So there's another filling.
And that reason that you got, the reason you had to go first to get some gas at the filling station to go get a filling put in your tooth is because you have too much apple filling.
I have a feeling that this morning is going awry fast.
Crazy. For you guys with the 10 codes in your mind, and I'm not talking about the C beers. I'm talking about LEOs. We're 1073.
Very
we're unhinged. We're waiting for the boys and the girls in the white jackets to come visit us.
And I just heard the alarm.
And that's what the feeling is for you too. Is the guys in the white jacket? Your dentists wear white outfit?
No,
they don't want the blood to show.
Blue. He totally wore blue when he was here, but
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
This whole thing just has really gone off the rails.
Okay. I should have just said hi, I'm Chris Marks.
No, you did fine.
Sorry, you're good.
You're good.
A friend let me in on what he says is a little secret. We're discussing the government shutdown. I posed a question yesterday, and he heard it over the air as to whether the essential federal employees were getting their pay or whether they were having to wait until the children in Congress grow up and allow the country to return to normal.
Mm-hmm.
The reports over the last 3 weeks are that the non-essential folks are on furlough, time off,
Right.
not getting paid, not working, but they'll collect their back pay that they did not get, even though they aren't actually working when the aforementioned children make appointments with their proctologist to get a brain scan.
Oh.
But according to my friends, some of the banks in this military-friendly town, another reason I like this area, are advancing many of those non-essential folks
Yes.
money. They're advancing them what they know they're going to be getting back and their back pay. So they're doing. This is a good community.
It's a wonderful, beautiful community.
It is.
You go to New York and let me know how the banks are treating their people up there. It would be nice if all of the banks would do it, but I don't know which ones there are here. He mentioned 2 different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them start with military stuff
Yes.
or water stuff. One of
I
them.
will tell you, it's Marine Federal and Navy Federal.
Okay, well, all right.
Yep.
So that's the word that's out there, and so that's cool. Makes me want to change banks.
Thank
just
you.
Because.
I've been with Marine Federal for probably 35 years. Good people.
Dad got me started in it when he had just started there, so I've been there 40 something years.
Wow.
Yes. See?
I've been everywhere for 40 something years.
I know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's the government shut down. It's still shut down, but it's not shut down. People are still doing stuff. It's a crazy time, and I'm just not sure what in the world is actually going on.
Can I tell you something?
Do you know what's going on?
I watched it yesterday for a while, just for laughs,
I'm
and
sorry.
giggles. And the problem is right now, they cannot get past the motion for cloture. What that means is they're trying to do a motion on the floor, and they have to have 60 votes in the A's to close the motion, the cloture. Close the cloture. It's crazy. What this means is right now on the floor, they have open debate.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth. It's an all-day thing. Not everybody's there. You could have a group come in, one get up and speak for 10 minutes, and then boom, they're gone for the rest of the day. And they go in and out, in and out. But the problem is they cannot get past that motion to close all the debate to take a vote on opening the government back up on the budget. So they can't even get to the vote yet, because they don't want to close the debate. They just want to spend day after day, after day, after day debating and putting their 2 cents in. And let me tell you what, some of them are not nice.
When they go more than 5 days, they need to leave it up to me. One vote, and that's the only vote that counts. Mine.
I think they need to change the
Just call
laws.
me and I'll just tell you what to do next. Make a case. You got 2 minutes.
I think if you come to an impasse on closing the debate,
Then it closes.
then I think that after a certain period of time, they need to automatically close it. We're going to vote. Go ahead, Chris.
No, they should. I read where the Oregon senator, believe it was 22 hours of talking to an empty chamber. That they don't.
That's another thing I think they need to change.
First of all, you need to give him a candy bar.
Snickers.
No.
Snickers. No. What? A penny?
X-Lax, made of X-Lax.
Oh,
We can get him to sit down and shut up.
Well, it's bad enough they're all not there. And that's Chris brings up a valid point. They all should be made to sit there. Every single one of them.
If you're not there, then we take a vote with whoever is there.
Yeah, we'll do our 2/3 with whoever's
regardless.
there. Right.
I don't know. Somebody needs to work out a much better system. The system we have is based on but the loopholes in such a system present problems like this. Those are the loopholes in laws are what make lawyers rich.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And the loopholes in our congressional leaders, I cringe when I call them that. The loopholes that are in that entire system are why we're where we are today, without a budget, without a government in full swing. 3 weeks and 2 days later.
23 days today. We've tied it with Obama's record.
Well, let's see. We've got ambassadors to almost every country known to mankind, right?
Right.
No.
Well, we get one of our best ambassadors to sit down and negotiate it, or better yet, I'll cancel my golf match with him, with the president, and I'll sit down with the 2 leaders and sit down and get this thing ironed out. Negotiating is not a problem if you get them to sit down.
Arms?
Sure, you
just
can.
to make sure they don't get out of line.
Yeah, and I'll give you the 3-wood.
No, I got more better over there. I got Buford's. I got his stick.
Well, you can only watch so much of it because you get so mad.
I like my TV too much.
Yeah.
And, I would throw things at it. I would, if I sat there and watched this and watched the stupidity that I have seen before. I could not I would throw things at it, or worse at it. I'd pull Elvis Presley on them.
Well, let's go down to the state, because I watched that yesterday. I watched the North Carolina House pass the new map. Mm-hmm. And you know how I feel about it. For personal reasons, I'm having a laugh. But it was so funny because day before yesterday, during the debate, and the discussions. There was one House of Representatives. He got up there and he was like, "There's more dung in this chamber than there is in my barn at home." And I was like, "What?" Oh yeah, they were vocal
We had
yesterday.
a senator from New Hanover County. I think it was New Hanover and Pender at the time. He is the brother-in-law of my neighbor down the street here.
Yes.
His wife, it was his wife's brother. His name was Bill Smith. He's a lawyer out of New Hanover County. Was a lawyer, passed away. And as a senator, he made statewide news from the floor. When the bickering was going on in the Senate, Senator Bill stands up. I love that guy. We had great talks. He was an extreme Democrat. I mean, extreme, not a liberal.
Right.
He was a Democrat from those days. And he stood up. They gabbled. He said, the senator from New Hanover County has the floor. And in his southern, just like he was addressing a jury, in his southern drawl, he said, "All I can say is, I am so happy there is not a squirrel loose in here because we got a lot of nuts running loose."
Oh, well, yesterday.
News and Observer, page one it was.
Well, they passed the new congressional map, and then yesterday afternoon, the House Rules Committee went back into session, and they were pulling stuff out of committees, talking about it and discussing it, and voting on to advance it to the House and the Senate for a vote. And yesterday, one of the representatives, she was a woman, and she had pink hair.
She may have been a woman.
She had pink hair. That's all I can tell you. And I guess that was for
Was it natural?
the no. But anyway, she raises her hand, and the committee chair, which is John Bell, which I really like him, he was like, "Oh, well, okay, yeah, what do you need?" And she goes, "I just want to know when we're going to do a motion to adjourn this so we can go home." And I'm like, It's like 3:00 in the afternoon. And his response was, "No, this is just like Groundhog Day. We're going to just keep coming back and coming back and coming back and until we get our job done." And I was like, wow.
Right. I worked with his sister at the cable company, and she just adores her brother. And he does everything that I've read about the man is just he's
I
very
like him. Yes,
sounds like he's
great.
witty.
He's great, but I was like, "Ooh,
that can be fun."
Well, 15 minutes later, they did adjourn, and boy, she ran out of there, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I was watching yesterday Parliament. What's interesting is in Parliament, they are all in their chairs. They are there.
Well, and if they're not, they know they're going to be talked about. Or
Do they still wear the wigs?
Decorum.
No,
they don't do that anymore.
No.
I've seen recently some stuff in the past where they've actually had the wigs on. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
They weren't wigs. That was just gray hair.
Makes me itch.
Don't do that.
I mean, the other sad part about this is we all know the trickle down effect, but it's not so much, as I understand it from our outreach center, is non-military people are not spending money because
They're got to get through.
They have to get through.
Yeah.
And so more and more people now are going to the outreach center, also counties,
Right.
food pantry, and more people now are coming, and the donations are going down because no one has the money to donate. So this whole thing is just
a ripple.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think about it that way
And
also.
just my last comment on this is I had somebody who's very staunch. She watches or posts other 98% and some of those other places. And she said, "Well, Chris, this could pass if the Republicans voted on it." No, it could not. They need 60 votes.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 55 Republicans in there, or
51.
51.
Right.
They need a couple of Democrats to use their brains.
Mm-hmm.
It's well, some have moved over and but not enough. I mean, I think yesterday it was 55 voting in the affirmative.
Mhm.
Yesterday it dropped to 54 because I guess one just said "Pfft," and but they need 60. So and they did make some concessions. My understanding is the Republicans to the Democrats saying, "Okay, all right, we'll do this, we'll do what," but it's not enough. Not
So-
enough.
I'm going to ask you, Ray, for this. You're up there. You're getting paid $174,000 a year. Should you be paid if you
Nope.
decide not to even vote?
I think I won't go back to what they call piecework. You only get paid for the work that you accomplish, not the work that you're out there pushing on a tree and it's not going anywhere. Only if that tree falls down, you cut it up as firewood or pulpwood or whatever you're going to use it for. That's the only time you get paid. That's for what you actually do. How many bills have been introduced? Every congressman, every senator has a stack of bills they're introducing. How many of them go anywhere? About that many.
Mhm.
They don't even come out of committee, many of them. They don't ever go anywhere. They're useless bills. It's a useless waste of time, paper, and energy. And more importantly, money. It's a waste of my time, my energy. It's a waste of good public TV time. We could watch reruns of I Love Lucy instead of the crap that they're having to cover on C-SPAN,
Mhm.
Fox News, CNN, and all the other, because they're doing nothing except pandering for the cameras. Take the cameras out off the floor. Don't allow any reporters, no cameras on the premises. Period. Bottom line, that proceedings would be covered and be done with a whole lot faster.
I agree.
And you brought up something, and I had to look it up.
And it's not the
because-
media's fault. Don't get me
Right,
wrong.
right.
It's the fault of the individuals that are playing and using them.
Mhm.
If I was a reporter up there, I wouldn't be used. I'd throw the crap in the garbage.
All right, according to Wikipedia, and this is United States Congress, because I had to look this up to be sure that I had it right in my head. It takes 60 votes to close the debate, which is the motion for cloture. All right, but it says that once they go to vote on the budget, it's 51 votes.
Yes, a simple majority there.
Yes, it's simple.
Okay.
Now,
It's just closing it.
now, if they can't get beyond that, explain to me what good they are.
None.
Well,
Why are we paying them?
you
Maybe 65% of the Senate should be furloughed and 65% of the House should be furloughed. Now, when you're furloughed, you're laid off. You're not working. You're not doing
Right.
anything, right? And then just select the rest of the other 35 and let them make the decisions. Furlough all of those that are being combative. Furlough everybody that's combative and just let the people that are working make the decisions. And then maybe we don't need as many of those people up there in the first place.
One of the people who have refused their pay or said, don't pay me right now is
Right.
Congressman Murphy. We all know he said that.
He's got
You
plenty
know,
of money.
And he doesn't use a lot. Well, he does, but they all do.
Yes, they all do.
Still, you're
But-
used to that money.
But he said, hold my pay. But the people that run their mouths the most, and I'm talking about Jeffries and Schumer, that seem to get the most airtime.
Of course, they come running for the cameras. The cameras are waiting for them. They always will have something to say. Reporters do not like to have to go out and work and chase people down to
No.
say no comment,
Yeah.
because they're going to get no comment from the vast majority of the folks out there. And those that, now let's just be real here. There are going to be senators and congressmen up there who could not put together a real honest to goodness sentence off the cuff.
Yeah.
If we could all just get, that reporters are not going to cover people like that.
No.
They're getting nowhere with them.
It's crazy.
And we don't have necessarily, just because you get elected, it's a popular vote. That's the reason they call it a popular vote. The most popular people who got votes for in high school were what? the most
Homecoming queen.
popular people. They did not get votes because they were the smartest people.
No.
Or did they? It was done by popularity.
Yeah.
The smartest people are the ones that you saw at the graduation up there. And then you said, oh, God, was he in my class?
Oh, well, you know what? This whole thing about voting on the budget anyway is taking a back seat with the latest news
What's that?
about Trump having the
Oh,
ballroom,
The
a new
East Wing.
ballroom.
The East Wing.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
Hillary is just beside herself.
She's so beside herself.
Because she won't get invited to go there.
And it's Trump and several other donors that he has that are paying.
Well, I will have some questions about that. I'm not sure that we should, that just because some private individuals, and Trump is doing this as a private individual, his money is doing this as a private individual. I mean, suppose they want to get together and build, I don't know, he put up 2 flagpoles at $80,000 a piece.
Yes, he did.
But, which, okay, that's great. Hopefully the helicopters don't hit them. But where, there are certain things that are going on that are we going to allow our county commissioners to accept some money from a big donor in Onslow County if they want to, who wants to build a statue to himself or a statue to, the skates, the fish, and display that on a courthouse lawn? Are we going to allow that? There's a time when somebody needs to approve this kind of stuff.
Right.
Well,
Not necessarily the county commissioners that happen to be in office at the time.
right. I talked to a friend of mine who actually worked at the White House, worked close to the Lee in the West or in the East Wing, and said it actually does need repairs very badly.
I'm sure it does.
Bad leaks. A lot of issues there. Whether it needs what's being done, I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
Well, then I'm going to say about that, if that is the case,
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
going to say about that, just as I said about Dixon High School, we got a caller?
Charlie, yes.
Okay. I'm going to say about that, just as I did about Dixon High School back in the day, when somebody went through there and said, oh, it's got holes in the floor, it's got this, it's got that, it's unsafe for somebody's fired. Whoever was in charge of maintenance, and this was allowed to continue on their watch,
Yeah.
then you're fired.
Well,
Everybody involved is fired if
Maybe
you allowed this to occur.
maybe they did report it, but there was no money to fix it.
If that's the case, then that would have come out and been really very public, and the school board would have been fired.
Well, what if Trump would have said, I'll give you $100,000 to fix the school?
I'll take it.
See, there you go.
to fix the school, not to build a monument to himself or whatever.
Well, we're getting a brand new ballroom.
We are not. I've never been there.
You can be
and
invited.
I never will be invited.
I'll get you an invite.
I don't want one.
I'll get you an invite.
I have to go to Washington, right?
Yes.
To the White House?
And I can't carry my gun, right?
All we have to do is call Greg.
I
He'll
ain't
get you
going.
an invitation.
I'm not going. I can't carry my gun. Charlie, what's up?
Oh, God.
Hey, have you guys spoken about the Jay Jones, the Democratic candidate for Virginia Attorney General?
No.
No.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a pretty contentious race. I think he's like 32 years old, and I guess if he becomes the Attorney General in Virginia, this is like a coup for Democrats. But he said some really horrible things in a text. And he said Jay Jones, a Democratic candidate for Virginia Attorney General in the 2025 election, has been embroiled in a major scandal over leaked private text. And this is what he said about his opponent. He goes, he texted, what if I put 2 bullets in his head? Would that make you happy?
I remember that.
And this guy's in the lead. He's the front runner right now to become the new Attorney General.
Well, and what is the context for that? What led up to that text?
Oh, because he's a lunatic. And he texted that to somebody. And the friend said, are you serious? He said he then fantasized about the aftermath. He said, I would love to watch his children die in their mother's arms.
Yeah, I remember
that kind of grief and pain is a good thing if it advances our politics.
Well, Charlie, Yeah, I'm sorry, Charlie. It wasn't, but he had said that a couple of years ago,
Right.
wasn't it?
Yeah. He said in 2022.
Yeah.
Google it. His name is.
Oh, no.
I have it right here.
Words follow you, though. Words will follow
He
you. Your
wants-
actions will follow you.
Yeah, he
But I'm
talked
saying,
about
but
shooting a
people aren't
Republican.
denouncing him. Nobody's denouncing him. That's what's bizarre.
It's Virginia, Northern Virginia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he,
but I think you guys should research that and maybe talk about it on another show. I mean, think about that. This is someone that's going to be in charge of, all of the law of the land in that county. He's talking about he would love to watch his children die in their mother's arms.
yes.
That's pretty disturbing. People think weird things, but to say it and to post it and then to run for politics, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can talk about that in another show.
All right.
Anyway, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to make something eat. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it right here where he sent, this is in 2022, and he sent these to a Republican lawmaker. And his words were 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. He also appeared to acknowledge in those messages that he envisioned Gilbert's children dying in their mother's arms because he believed that's what it would take to get him to change his policy positions. Talking about this.
First of all,
Republican
it's
law.
rambling and it makes absolutely 0 sense all the way around. The guy, if the people elect him, that's the people's problem. And if they're stupid enough to elect him, then they deserve what they get. I'm sorry.
It's
What are you going to do
craziness.
about it? Can he do it legally? Yes, he can run legally.
Mm.
What are we going to do about it? Don't vote for him. Research, and research, folks. We're in an election process right now. We're in the beginning next week of the second full week of early voting. We have an election full time coming up for all 5 of the municipalities here in Onslow County.
Mhm.
They got something for you to vote for or vote on or against. How many of you are going to turn out? Almost none. The percentage of the voters in this county who are eligible to vote in a municipal election,
Right.
wait until we get through with this thing. And after November 4th, we're going to go back and we'll take a look and see how many of you did not vote. And then when you call up complaining, and I got your name,
Right.
I'm going to check you very quickly. Did you vote? And if you did not vote, I'm going to call you out. If I read crap that you're posting online, I'm going to check your voting record and see if you voted. I don't care who you voted for. I care whether you vote. And if you can't vote, if you can't take the time to vote, get off your stupid little bicycle and stay home.
I asked a friend who voted, and they live in the city, and I said, "Where's your little sticker?" She goes, "Oh, I got it. It's out on in my jacket in the car, and it says I voted. Did you?"
Oh,
Which I believe is new.
That's
A
new.
new sticker this year.
A
I
lot of
like
strange things going on down there right
Yeah,
now.
I had a cup that I used to bring in here, and I took every one of my stickers and I posted it around there, and I used to put them on the front of my computer screen. On the
Well,
computer
I will be
cover.
there this afternoon working the polls. So if you've
You're
not
going to vote
voted,
while you're there?
I'm going to vote.
Can I vote by proxy?
I've got to turn in some paperwork. I'm going to vote, and then I'm going to work the polls.
Okay.
So if you've not voted yet, you live in the city, come by and see me.
Can I go can I get different ballots, like one for each one of the cities?
No. I
Why?
have free ink pens I'll be giving away.
Can I get a couple hundred of them?
No.
You've already got some. What happened to
Kathy
them all?
asked the same thing after we made our presentation to City Council Tuesday night, and I love the way they do theirs. Really, by the way, I
Yes.
got to say, they have the public. They start at 5:30.
Right.
First of which is I loved,
Mhm.
but and got to talk to Sammy before the meeting, and Cindy Edwards and a few of the other ones. But they go public comment first, like the county commissioners do. They only give you 3 minutes, but I got what I needed done in 3 minutes, and then they moved on to business. Not very well attended meeting, but most of them
No,
are.
I watch them online.
You mentioned the time limit.
Yeah.
As a television news boss, right?
Mhm.
We've got limited amount of time. Like
Yeah.
the county commissioners, the city council, they only have a certain amount of time to get everything done, right?
Mhm.
I mean, they're people that need to make bathroom breaks and all that sort of good stuff. I used to have reporters. We got 30 minutes of news time. That included commercials. That included weather. That included sports.
Mhm.
Okay. So that did not include happy talk because I eliminated that. during the news stuff. This, hey, how you doing? How was your wedding? You get up by this? Yeah, we don't care. They don't care. They want the facts, Jack. You can be friendly, but give them the facts. So I always had a reporter. Hey, I need more time for the story. Well, who am I going to cut? whose time I'm not going to get on it there? Why do you need it? And I said, you're going to need to justify having more than the allocated minute 15 seconds. That was what we would generally say. They'd come back, I need 2.5 minutes. No, you don't. Well, you don't know. I said, yes, I can give you the second coming of Christ in 1:10, complete with video. Now you do the same thing.
What?
Absolutely. If an event comes and you want to cover news like that, you got 1:10, 1:15. I can cover pretty much anything. Spacecraft landing, got it. It's landing. Here he comes on the ground. Somebody getting out of it. Yep, there they are. Well, they look friendly. Good. I'm Rayford Brown, WCT News, Wilmington.
Yeah, I was
the bottom line, y'all.
Well, I was able to cover the November 3rd Vietnam vet
Good.
and raced across America in 3 minutes and walked out with $45 for the race. So
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that pending when we come back.
I read that.
Looking towards the waters of Onslow Bay, out to 20 nautical miles today. Northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knot, seas 2 to 3 feet every 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers of a moderate chop. Friday, tomorrow, northerly winds about 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers of light chop. Saturday, northeasterly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4, sounds and rivers of moderate chop.
Today will be sunny with a high near 71, calm wind becoming northwest 5 to 9 miles per hour, and gust as high as 16. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 44. Friday, sunny with a high near 69. I'm going to throw in Friday night here, clear with a low around 40.
Cool.
And Saturday, sunny with a high near
Hot
67.
chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Chris, we got you hot
I'm
chocolate,
thinking
Chris.
about chili too. Chris, you could, well, we'll talk about that tomorrow, but
Yes.
might have an opportunity to put a crock pot up there
I'm telling
full
you.
full of stuff.
I'm telling
There's a
you.
plug.
Happy days.
Okay, this is the time of year. Fall is a time of year that a whole lot of fishermen look forward to, called fall fishing season.
Yes.
And it's a weather-related event, happens every year. This year, the weather-related has been anything but good for fall fishing until right now. It's been dicey. We've had those passing storms. We've had rip currents up the yin yang. We've
Yes,
had
we
all
have.
sorts of nasty out there, right? Conditions were not good to get offshore, not good to get even through the inlets in too many days. So it wasn't working. The bite was not on. The folks were not biting. If they were biting, nobody could get to them. Today through Saturday, perhaps even on Sunday, it's looking pretty good. Great time to head for the blue waters for some big fish. Along the beaches, the water temps are still in the 70s. That's good. Not too hot, not too cold. Might be a good time to drag some folks. If you're new and you haven't done it before, you got a boat, you can get through the inlet okay. We want to stay close to the shore. Cool. You want to catch some fish? Spanish mackerel. Duh. Clark spoons, a couple of different sizes. Yuzuri deep divers. Those two will be great for you near the inlets.
What did you say they were?
Clark spoons and Yuzuri deep divers.
Okay.
It's a type of lure. They know it. They know what it is. If I was going out today, for instance, or tomorrow or Saturday, I'd be looking for Spanish mackerel because I just want to bring some fresh fish home to eat. And that's almost a guarantee. The Spanish should be there. But once I clear New River Inlet, get out and cross that bar, get into water that's more than 2 inches deep, I would look first north and south, up and down the beach. I would look for early morning now. This needs to be done, not long after that sun clears the horizon. Look for birds. You can see them silhouetted. If nothing else, you'll see them diving. If they're diving, if they're just flying around, no big deal. But if they're diving into the water, one right after the other, there's bait there.
Yes.
They're little. You don't want to catch the bait, but the bait draw bigger fish, and the bigger fish draw even bigger fish. Spanish mackerel, bluefish, they're all working right now near the surf lines. close to shore. You don't have to go 200 miles offshore. You can do it and don't spend a lot of gas money and likely catch fish. I learned a long time ago, when there's fish here, I don't care if you're planning to go offshore 20 miles. If you see fish, don't pass those fish to go look for other fish. Catch those first. Now you got something in the cooler you know you're going to take home. You're good to go. You can spend the rest of the day fishing offshore. If that's what your goal is, good, not a big deal. But while you're fishing close to shore, around pods of bait and whatever, along with the Spanish mackerel, there will good possibility, especially at an inlet I'll tell you to go to in a second, there will be likely a couple of smaller kings, maybe what we call teenagers, those in the 10 to 20 pound range. They don't have to be huge. And the bigger ones, I prefer the small ones if I'm going to have them to eat, period. If you don't see any fish right out of New River Inlet, you don't see any birds working, turn left. Go northeast actually, but go up the beach. Go towards the next inlet, which is Brown's Inlet. Brown's Inlet has got water that comes out. If you got a GPS, hopefully you do, or a depth gauge. You're going to need that because you need to check the water depth. Just circle the bar around Brown's Inlet. Just go up, go out, and circle that bar because it's going to come out a little ways from where the water is pouring out, and look for fish. The chances are you will pick up some as you go by. When you pick them up, go back by, keep on going, make a wide turn because you got rigs out behind you. You don't want to tie them together. They don't work at all when you do that. Then turn around and come right back to that same location, because where there's one, there's usually they're kind of pocketed up there together sometimes. Run it by there a couple times. When you get enough fish, then if you want to go further offshore, go for it. There's some reefs out there. There are wrecks out there. Pick a favorite, something you've done before, and go have fun. For you blue water guys, wahoo, mahi, we call them dolphin fish, maybe even some blackfin tuna right now should provide some really good fun and some great eating offshore. Go out there and have fun. Be sure you take ice and keep those fish on ice. Do not just let those fish sit there in a cooler with no ice in it and rot. If you want to fish inside, you got a small boat, you don't like the ocean, you get seasick or whatever, before you go, check the latest fishing regulations with the North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries website. Speckled trout, there's a size on them. You can't keep big ones. You can't keep small ones. There's a limit for speckled trout. I am hearing reports of some pretty good ones. Some of them are too big to keep. If they're over 20 inches, forget about it. 20 inches. That was used to be a kind of a nice moderate sized fish. I don't know what the speckled trout specialist is going to be doing. The speckled specialist friend of mine, Ricky Kellum. But the big ones you can't keep. There are big ones being nailed in New River. Don't keep them if they're over 20 inches. If they're an eighth of an inch over 20 inches, when they pull that tail together, when what they call the fork length, the fork length is up in the curve part. But if they pull that tail together and it's over 20 inches by an eighth of an inch, you got a $180 cost of court ticket plus a fine. And then you can't keep the fish anyway. Don't get silly on this stuff. It will come back around one of these days, I'm sure. A 6+ pounder was caught just north of the New River Bridge a few days ago. Okay. Bluefish at the same time were hitting as far up as Southwest Creek. No rain results in salty water. The fish don't know whether they're in the ocean or up down the river or as long as it's salty water, that's where they will go. Spots, of course, those little delicacies along the intercoastal waterway, probably along the fishing piers as well, no doubt about it. If you go out this weekend, folks, give us a call next week and let us know how you make out. Okay. I just like to hear from folks. Since I won't be going, I'd like to hear from you. Just tell me, talk to me.
You can do it right now too. 910-333-0139.
If you're going out or you've been out this week, and I know a lot of you folks haven't, perhaps some of you folks who are furloughed have been fishing, give us a call. I mean, why not go fishing?
Oh my gosh.
Go fishing and you know, bring
Nice
some
people.
fresh fish home.
I feel so bad for them.
I do too. It's awful.
Well, you know, I noticed yesterday in the morning hours, there was no traffic on the road.
Yeah.
But yet I went to a new restaurant in town to meet some friends for lunch. It was pure packed in there.
Well, the people that used to get up
They still eat.
to go to work,
Right.
they would have to get up to go to work. They go to work early in this community.
Right. Yes.
Hello, 6 o'clock is not overly early. If you don't believe it, try Western Boulevard at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Try to get off from Country Club Road on the Western Boulevard at
Right.
6 o'clock in the morning. You will go through sometimes
Right.
several changes of the light.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that. Okay. Good news for you Vietnam era, the people who were serving in active duty in our military, any of the branches of our military during the Vietnam time frame. And the time frame was, how did y'all specify what that time frame was? I think it was from 1958 until 1975 or so.
Right.
What do you put it at?
It's 53.
53. Okay.
53.
Yeah, I know we had some advisors
Yeah.
playing games over there at the time, and I think the first ones got killed in 58 or something. Then we lose 2 in 58.
Yes.
So anyway, if you served in our military, and you didn't have to be in Vietnam, you didn't have to be serving yonder, you didn't have to be carrying an M16. You didn't have one of them in 58 anyway, but you didn't have to be doing that. You just had to be, you could be back home in our armed forces, working motor T here, doing whatever. It didn't matter. If you served in the military during that period of time, you're eligible for a pin,
Correct.
courtesy of
Race Across America.
Okay.
And President Trump.
So these pins, that you guys are having a pinning ceremony right after, before Veterans Day,
Yes.
and it's on the
November.
Third.
We're doing it November 3rd
It's a
before
Monday.
Election Day. Yes.
It's a Monday, a week from next Monday, and you're going to have this at what time?
It's going to be at 10 o'clock at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall on Montfort Point Road.
Okay.
Excuse me. We did a walkthrough the other day, met 2 Vietnam veterans that didn't know nothing about it. They're going to show up to get
I met one
to get
yesterday
it.
at Sam's while I was shopping. I
You better get
identified
some
him.
more pins.
And I
We
told
have
him
all
about
of
it.
them.
He knew nothing about it. He said, I count on getting my information for that kind of stuff from the VFW.
Mhm.
And he said, admittedly, I haven't been to a meeting lately, but he says they haven't put it out on email or anything else, or sent cards, letters, or whatever. No Pony Express.
We're trying our best to get the word out. We've contacted all the media, and of course, the family here has talked about it. And how long it lasts depends on how many show up. We hope to have at least 100 there to receive this. And
Really?
you're right, Rayford. Oh yeah, at least 100.
Is that all that you need?
No, we want more. We've ordered more pins
Good.
and proclamations from the president.
Good.
We would like more, and it's going to be. It's organized very well, so there's not going to be a lot of downtime. They're going to receive their pin. They're going to receive their proclamation. More importantly, they're going to receive their thank you and welcome home.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah. And so that starts at 10 o'clock. And at this point, we know Senator Lazara has committed to being there.
Maureen.
Yes, sir. We're waiting to hear from Representative Gable and Shepard. We know a couple of county commissioners are going to be there. City Council, I believe they're going to have a couple of representatives, not all of them. They were all invited. And if the public is the ones we really like to have out there as well,
Now,
to thank these men.
This
So
is
that-
not just for Jacksonville
no.
City Council or Onslow County Commissioners. There are 4 other communities in our.
All of them, yes.
All
Yeah.
y'all need to get off your get into your cars and drive here, and be at this event?
We have veterans living in Swansboro,
Yes, we do.
Holly Ridge,
We do.
Richlands. I mean,
And if you know one that's so old that he or she are limited in their mobility to be able to come here or do whatever, pick them up. Take a mom an ice cream afterwards. They can get her Joe Biden ice cream. I don't care. Just go bring them to this event.
And in the worst case scenario for that individual, not for us, but for that individual, we will go to their home.
There
There are many suffering from Agent Orange
Yes.
and the effects of it. We'll go to their home and we'll present it to them.
I just thought of something. It might be some of those assisted living places or or some of the other.
There
There
are.
are, and I know there are individuals there.
Yeah.
There's one friend of mine is in Wilmington, and when I go on my monthly visit, I go by to see him, spend a couple of hours with him, and they've got a wall of. Do you know they got a wall of their military members who are in this place? Pictures on the wall,
Wow.
their dates of service and everything else. That's one of the things they do in Wilmington. Hello, what a great idea!
It is wonderful. So, and it's interesting, Rayford, you mentioned Wilmington, their cemetery when it comes to wreaths,
The National Cemetery.
always covered.
Yep.
Every grave site. I talked to a lady last night about Allen's Memorial and got her taken care of. We'll do whatever we can to make sure every veteran has a wreath on their gravesite. But I want to say, just Kathy's been working so hard behind the scenes with.
She has a vested interest. She's a Marine.
She is a disabled Marine. Yes.
She knows. So
And
they're not disabled. They're Marines.
I do want to mention this. It is not Kathy and I doing this.
Mhm.
This is Wreaths Across America doing it. We're just the legs doing it. But last night, someone took offense to it because they served in Afghanistan, and said that the Vietnam veterans in that era did not fight a war. So I had to explain it was not a war. And I explained to him very nicely and with no reply, but respect all. And yes, in my world, in my dreams, my prayers, there's never going to be another war. It's likely there's going to be some, but what those people did back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that was a war. That was a war, and they were not welcomed home like.
Rule 1. If somebody is shooting at you and you're shooting back, you're in a foreign country, there's a war going on. If it wasn't going on before, it would be if you shoot at me, because I'm going to shoot back. And we lost 58,000 men,
Yes, we did.
women during that period of time, killed, murdered, slain. We lost people from here that he and I used to drive back from state. He was here, but he caught a ride with me on several occasions for weekends. He got out. His brother and I were in the same class. He was 2 years ahead, 3 years ahead of us. I can't remember. But he died. He was killed right after he graduated from college. He left from here, and he died shortly thereafter. Second Louis, I think. So, yeah, don't tell me it wasn't a war.
Hopefully he
I wasn't
understood.
there, but it was a war. And I will tell you something else. And you did not have to be there to be treated like dog doo-doo when you showed up anywhere that people knew you.
Tim Thomas.
That anybody knew you during that time. If you were there and they knew you were military, you were just a pile of crap in their minds.
And
Donkey Man.
one explanation before we get to Donkey Man that I gave this gentleman was when those men came back, they were spat on. They were not cheered. They were jeered. They were called all sorts of names and things.
They didn't like to wear their uniforms.
No.
Even coming home, they wanted to try to get through.
Yeah. And
Maybe they were not ashamed.
Right.
no,
They
they
just don't want the attention.
no. But-
Major Capers came back with, he'd been shot
Oh my
13
gosh.
times.
Yeah.
And when they put his stretcher on the tarmac, loaded the wounded, and he was laying on his stretcher on the tarmac, somebody actually came up and urinated on him. sick people.
Yeah.
You need my 45 at that time.
They better be glad he couldn't get up off that
I
stretcher.
tell you what, I'd be hunting him down.
Mhm.
Jimmy, what's up, my man?
Good morning to all of you.
Hey,
Easy
Ken.
to the pond this morning. You're talking about a great subject, and I wanted to lay this into you real quick. I had a Vietnam veteran explain to me about the Vietnam War one time. Excuse me. And he said they were, government called it police act. And he said, here's the way it was. We were sent over there, and we could not do what we wanted to do. We did what we were told to do. And that's the way he put it. That's the way and it was great. But here's what I really love now, and you're right. They were spat on. They were cussed at. They were, you name it, they got it. Some of them had manure thrown at them, all kinds of stuff. But now if you go around, and I've got a lot of relatives and friends, and when I see a guy walking around and on top of his head he's got Vietnam veteran,
Yep.
I stop him.
Yes.
I just want you to know I'm proud. My brother, he was a foreman in the Navy in Vietnam.
The most
And,
beloved
and I just
individual
wanna
in the Marine Corps was a
Oh,
Navy
yeah.
corpsman.
Yeah. And I tell him, thank you. Thank you. I said, my mama's biggest fear was my brother not coming home. And it was people on the home front that did support him. They got fussed at too. I mean, they say something. Well, my son's he's over in Vietnam. And I would have dodged the draft. I would have done this, and I'd have done it. So, well, I'm proud that he's over there. I hate it, but I'm proud that he's over there. And she was sending care packages, and she was sending stuff. He said, "Mom, bring me some toys. Bring me some toys for the children." And they did. A lot of people back home sent care packages and all that other kind of stuff. And Mama used to get me. She boxed it up. And she wasn't the only one. There was a lot of them. And I just want to say, a lot of people were involved in that war on the home front, too,
Yep.
that were supporting the troops. But there were so many more that weren't. And
Yep.
that was the sad part of it all.
He was.
But
Definitely.
But I just want to throw that in there this morning. I did get a chance to listen to you this morning. I am local, thank God, and I
It's a
hadn't
good
been
thing.
off in a while.
It's a good
But
thing.
y'all have a good one. I get off.
Thank you,
here,
Jimmy.
'cause I know you
We were
guys-
talking
so
about
y'all
you.
be good.
Yeah. All right. You take care.
But
Tim Thomas, our good friend here.
Yes,
Donkey
yes.
Man, they call him because he
Yes.
raises donkeys.
Donkey
And,
man, donkey man extra. Donkey.
But,
Donkey.
before we leave this,
Donkey would be good.
and
There's the donkey man, then there's the drunky man.
I'm just going to
Right
sit here
on.
and drink my coffee.
That would be good.
To tie into this debate, well, it wasn't even a debate, it's just a discussion. He had his opinion. I tried to convince him of facts. But today at 10:30, there's another celebration in this town, and a very solemn one, because in 1983 on this day was the Beirut bombing.
Yeah, massacre.
And at the Beirut Memorial this morning at 10:30, there'll be a ceremony for the anniversary of it. And man, these men and women that raise their hand and say for at least 4 years, I'm going to defend this country. They do it, and they have no clue where they're going, what's going to happen.
And I'll tell you, most have not a clue the day they sign up because they're not worldly today. They may know a little bit more because of news, but back in the day, they had not a clue. I mean,
God bless
first of
them.
all, Cape May, New Jersey. Oh, Lord of mercy. Are we still friendly with those people north of the Mason-Dixon line? I just kind of thought that went through my head. And I know a lot of people in that time from up yonder who got transferred to Camp Lejeune or signed to Camp Lejeune. They had the same source of feeling. Oh my God, I'm going down south. What am I going to face? I've never been south of anything. So they were afraid. I was going north. I was afraid when they would get my gun. That's all I wanted to do. Hey, if I got to here at enemy land, Yankee land, I need my gun. No, it's you don't know where you're going. You don't have any clue when you get out of basic training where you're going. You can fear what's going to be happening. You can. Oh, some people like, hey, hot dang, I'm going to Vietnam. Where is it? Where's that place? Is that near Paris? Can I get weekends in Paris? Those are the kinds of things that people would say, and that's the thoughts that would run through their heads. They did not know at that time very much. News coverage, no satellites. There were no satellites.
Oh.
It came by film, and there were bicycles. Getting it out, CBS had a great documentary one time. I like to find it again. I think Dan Rather actually put it together, but they showed how footage got from the actual fighting zones in Vietnam, because they were in what they call embedded now. There were reporters that were there wearing military gear, clothing. Mm-hmm. Some of them got killed as a result of that. And they were shooting pictures, still pictures, and 16 millimeter motion picture film is what they called it in those days. That film was bicycled to locations that it could get aboard a flight. Now, our government had flights going back and forth. There were not a lot of civilian. There was no FedEx picking up film in Way City. Let's just put it that way. They didn't have it. So it was transferred. The military cooperated, our government cooperated in getting the film back from Vietnam. They did not censor it. It came back as raw film to be processed when it got here. 3 days later is when you saw it on the news. Quite often, if it was a hot battle zone, I saw Huntley and Brinkley break in with it during the newscast. Said, we just got this film. It's just come out of the processor. It's not edited. We're going to take a look at it. Scary.
It is.
Wouldn't happen today. It might, but we got better technology today. So but Vietnam was literally worlds away. 3 days minimum before you knew what was going on.
Well, last week, I believe I mentioned Kathy and I had an opportunity to talk to a POW that came home. And
I interviewed 2 of them.
The stories that he alluded to, he obviously does not want to talk about it. But he's alive, and he plans on driving up from Wilmington to attend the pinning.
Yeah, it's good. There was a guy that became a friend of mine. He was a soldier in that era, and he sneaked back in after Vietnam. His name was, it'll come to me in a minute. But anyway, he got to be a contractor over in Kinston for a while, but he lived in Wilmington. He was a potter in Wilmington after the war. Mm-hmm. And his name will pop up in a minute. He made a lot of news. But he got together a team, and they sneaked back into Vietnam to look for POWs after the war. Some of them that were not still being held as POWs, but some of them, and we had one infamous one here that stayed over there. In fact, they entrusted him with a gun to watch other POWs. And so he came back after the war, several years later, back, I think about 1980 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he was tried. He came back under guard. I was at the airport when they brought him in out here. Oh, well, those are the times. And there was a young lady here married to a Marine, and her Marine husband died in a motorcycle accident. And she got connected up with this Marine because she had been leading the charge to help him get back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, those memories come back. Okay, missionary credentials. Let's go somewhere else. You ever been a missionary?
No.
Not technically, no.
Didn't get sent over yonder to do whatever?
No.
Would you go to somebody? Let's go to Africa. Let's talk about Africa. Would you go?
Papa Top.
Would you go to Africa?
Sure.
You would?
I think maybe not now.
We'll talk about it when we come back. Get
Okay.
ready on cue.
Okay.
1 and a 2 and a 3. Top time with Chris Miller. Hey, Chris, what's up?
Hey, good morning, my friends. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good
Fine.
morning.
Did you like that intro? That was a live intro. That was not even canned. Pardon the pun.
I know that was very impressive, Rayford.
I didn't do it. That came from that came from our esteemed colleague here, also known as Chris, but another one.
The esteemed colleague.
I don't know about all that, but we've got a good one on the phone right now.
Yeah, we do. Chris Miller, Jacksonville Daily News sports editor extraordinaire, and we're going to make it 8-0 tomorrow night. We got.
Well, it looks like it, but the Cardinals want to play well, and they have a tendency of starting out those games pretty well, and kind of maybe take the gas a little bit and doing some frustrating things. So we'll see how they do. But if they take care of business and play like they're supposed to, I think they have a chance to win. But D.H. Conley is going to be they've won 4 straight, so it should be a good game.
Well, we won 8 straight. What do they got to do by that? That means they're gunning for us. Is that what it means? They're coming for blood.
They're a good team, and but Rayford, I do have a question for you. So word has it that when y'all went to South Central last week, I guess the South Central folks didn't let you bring in your own popcorn. Is that right?
They kicked me out.
Well, Lee texted me and said, I guess they wouldn't, let you eat your own popcorn, bring your own popcorn, and then we both agreed when the Cardinals went up 14-0 that's what that school got for being so rude.
That'll learn you.
That'll learn you, darn
That'll
you.
learn you. Don't pick on Brown when he's hungry. And here's a story. Okay, because there's we didn't have time to really eat in advance to drive all the way up yonder, right? We just don't do that. Besides, Lee was late getting here.
Not my fault.
I've heard that before.
It was not my fault.
That gun just went off all by itself. It wasn't my fault.
Last words to me when I left the studio was, "I will call you."
And I did. He said, "Where are you? Why aren't
Yeah.
you here?" And she was 30 minutes late. But anyway, that's beside the point. I had already arranged for food. I had the popcorn here, courtesy of
Yes.
Marty. He brought 3 big bags of it for us,
Good
just
Marty.
freshly popped. Great. And then I had 3 sandwiches there per what my wife and what Lee wanted. Their request, right? That's what you wanted. You got it, right? And I had
Yes.
mine in the bag.
Yes.
So they ate theirs on the way there. They didn't eat the popcorn.
Because we smart.
I was driving, and the road from here to there is not the straight highway. I went by way of Miami Beach to get there.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way. That's about the route that I had to take, but I got there on time, and I didn't break the speed limit because I was following some car with a law enforcement tag in front of on the back end of it. Seriously, most of the way. Nah. Anyway, we got there, got all the stuff out, got suited up, got my seat wrapped around my back. That's the chair that I carry to sit in. Got all that, had the bags in a clear plastic bag so that they could see the bags of popcorn and my sandwich down at the bottom of it. I had a 2-gallon bag with all the popcorn in it, except for you had a bag. I think somebody else had one. I had
Robbie
2 bags.
did, yes.
I had 2 bags of popcorn and the sandwich in my bag. And carrying a big Yeti thing of hot chocolate because it was cold already.
Yeah.
And we got the finger wave from across the road before we even got there.
No.
Hey, Rayford, which finger was it?
Mine or theirs?
Yeah, that's just a little uncalled for. I mean, it's not like you're bringing in a whole thing of Bojangles or McDonald's. I mean, you're bringing in your sandwiches and popcorn in your own clear bag. I mean, that's just a little uptight on their part. I mean, I get it if you're trying to go to the movies or trying to go to a big stadium game like an NFL game, but because the security has to be very tight for obvious reasons. But I mean, that's just you're bringing in a sandwich and some popcorn. I mean, come on, give me a break.
I was thinking of breaks too, but legs, arms, necks, little things like that.
It was
But,
challenging.
where's my cane? Somebody stole my cane over here. I'm gonna carry that next time.
Well, my thing is, Rayford. Here's the question. Let's say if you're somebody who's diabetic, and I don't know the diet for people who you have to deal with diabetes. So what happens if you had some sort of disorder like that you were required to break? You had to eat something at a particular time.
I told you.
I got what I had was a disease that was happening.
Told you.
Here's the last time I ate. I ate something early that morning. It was after showtime, but it was between 9 and 9:30. I go in and I have my brunch, right? Because it's too late for breakfast, too early for lunch. So I eat something for brunch, and I ate something. Now that was between 9 and 9:30, 9:45. When did I eat the next time? Anything, Lee?
I told him to tell
What
them
time did I eat the next time?
he had a medical condition.
What time did I eat the
It was
next
like
time?
10:30.
It was after the game.
Yes.
I got in the car and we didn't go anywhere until I ate my sandwich and popcorn. And then I consumed popcorn all the way home, driving.
He was hangry, wasn't he?
That's the word exactly that I was going to tell you. There is a disease called hangry.
I said, all you have to do is tell them you have a medical condition and you must eat popcorn to keep yourself from stroking out and falling off the bleachers. I mean, what are they going to say? No.
What are they going to say?
I'm carrying my ball back next time.
Well, no, we'll be at Jacksonville
That's
the
right.
next 2 weeks.
I got buds at Jacksonville.
We have connections.
They understand how I am.
Just
could
kidding.
be.
Right.
Well,
right.
I'm just saying that's the great thing about being at covering the games at Jacksonville is or anywhere involving the Cardinals, because if anybody gives you a hard time, you can go find Colonel Kopka and he can go give people
That's
the
right.
business. How about that?
Colonel Kopka, he's our man.
I know 47,000 people right now that could probably come to my aid. That's the number of the last time I checked, the number of folks that looked at his picture on our Facebook page.
All right. Well, Chris, I have a question. All right. We have Amari Pearson. D.H. Conley has Elijah Taft. So what are we looking at here? What do you think we need to be looking for?
Well, I think D.H. Conley, they have 2 losses, but they were very early in the season. Like I said, they've won 4 straight, and those Greenville schools are always going to be very competitive just because of the nature of where they live and the population and all the number of athletes. So, they're playing well, and I hope the Cardinals don't overlook them just because they have 2 losses and they're undefeated. So I think it's going to be a good game. Is it homecoming? I'm not sure if it's homecoming or not.
No, that's next week. That's against White Oak.
Right.
You mean Jacksonville's homecoming is actually the last home game of the season?
Yes.
It is.
We're bringing
We'll
it
figure
in.
that.
Well, it's just getting ready for the playoffs, and we just got to warm up a little bit with White Oak.
That's my rant and rave for the day. My belly aching of the day is, homecoming used to always be the last home game of the season, and then teams kind of figured out, well, we want a homecoming against a team that we know we're going to win, and I've seen times where the homecoming was basically maybe the 4th game of the season when we've only been at school for maybe 2-3 weeks. So that's just silly. I mean, kids are still trying to get used to being in school and what have you, and now you have homecoming because that's against an inferior opponent, but homecoming should always be the last home game of the season. That's why we call homecoming.
Regardless of who you play. It's the way it used to be, or pretty close to it.
Well, and on your theory, Chris, or Rayford, you said beat the team. We know we're going to beat that team for homecoming.
We hope we're going to be White Oak.
It didn't work for Trask last week against Southwest. They ruined their party.
Their plans were poorly made.
Yeah.
Well, I will say the last time we played D.H. Conley was October 2024, and we beat them. It was a previous game. We beat them 62-43. So,
well, they should never have gotten 43 points. So our defense was screwing up.
we're going to be.
That was the game that Damon Jones scored all those touchdowns and had a really good game. So, as a media person, you don't. I told somebody else this the other day. As a media person, you want that game to get done so you can get the interviews done and you can get back and start working as early as possible. So you don't want those high scoring games. You want to see a 14-7, quick game, the game that goes by, gets done pretty before 9 o'clock, and then you can get home at a good time and maybe get all your work done. So we don't like seeing all those points being scored from a media perspective. The TV folks may, but as a newspaper person, you definitely don't want that because not that I have a deadline, but you don't want to be working at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well, the TV guys don't like it either because they do have a deadline and they got to get the stuff in. And when a game ends up at 9:40, especially if you're traveling to an away, that footage is not going to edit itself. It's got to be brought back, and you better have something in your head about how to edit it when you get home.
Oh yeah, exactly. We used to. We dove into some video taking, and of course it's not the same, but we did some video taking years ago when we were kind of into all that stuff, and it takes a lot of hard work to try to crop and put together those videos like a puzzle. So it's definitely a challenge, especially when you have to do it under the pressure of a deadline.
Yeah. And especially when you get to a game and nobody scores at all for the first half. Because if you got some footage you can show with some decent runs and a couple of touchdowns during the first half, at least you got something to go with. You can fill out the rest of it from your spotters at the game will give you the information. But you still got to get back. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock happens. 11 o'clock is 11 o'clock. If it ain't done by 11:10 for sports, it ain't going to make it.
You have to create the illusion.
There you go.
Well, Chris, not an illusion, but our listeners want to know two things: your prediction on the score and where are you going to be tomorrow night?
I am actually going to be at the Jacksonville game.
Yay!
So I'm going to be at the Jacksonville game, and then I think if the Cardinals play well and limit their mistakes, I think they have a chance to win, maybe 28-14, something like that. So, but they have to play well, and they have to not do those make those decisions and plays that frustrate the coaches and fans. So that's a nice way to say it.
Offsides and 15-yarders, whatever you do. They do so many offsides this year. Illegal procedure, 5 yards. What? That is. Don't do that.
I'm studying tonight.
Jesus. And then we've had more penalties this year on a couple of games that we gained more yardage in negative yards. We've had a couple of games where the other team had more yards against us and the yards that we lost. That they actually ran for yardage.
Well, what you're going to have to do, Rafer, is find the zebras before the game and give them a few bucks before the game to persuade them. How about that?
Threats work better.
Threats work better. Well,
give them a handful of popcorn.
Are you going to beat them with the club like Chris Marks did with the president?
You mean a club sandwich?
We're going to have our pictures up there at the gate now. Like, check these people when they come in.
Oh, well, yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But I did want to throw a shout out to the Lejeune High School football team.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Last week, they defeated Jones Senior 21-0 last week. So those kids and those parents, good for them. I know they've kind of gone through a lot. Those Lejeune programs that really don't get a lot of support, even from their own, from the bureaucracy from the government, DODEA, Department of Education Activity. They could care less about sports and what those kids are doing, and but those parents and those kids, it really means a lot to them how hard they're working. So to those folks.
Well, all right, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll see you there.
Bye. I want to say thank you to a number of individuals for the last few games. I've always included cheerleaders in the photos that I post. But I generally, up until the last 2 or 3 games, I've just included them along with the one post that I did. Just pictures, just chittle pictures. No,
Right.
The last home game, I included the cheerleaders in a separate post, the band in a separate post, and then the ball plays, the ball team, and doing their thing. But in the last week we were away. We don't have a band when we were away, so I couldn't do that. But the cheerleaders are separate, and I've done that for the last few times. And I get a lot of comments from people who say, "I was about time somebody paid attention to the cheerleaders. They work hard." And I've said that all along. I know they work hard, not only at the game, they're up. They don't take they don't take a timeout. During timeout, they're up there jumping up and down and trying to get us all motivated, right?
Yes.
A lot of energy.
And then throwing each other up into the air. They do what the ball team tries to do during the game. They throw the other team up in the air or down and stomp them or whatever. But our cheerleaders are out there and they're good.
Yes.
And they get us going. So, and if they can get one or two, like our friends, the cheerleaders, if they can get one or two of those, and like the gentleman, I hope he's there tomorrow night too, that was cheering the cheerleaders on and got them going too. One of the fans,
Oh yeah.
right down from us.
Yes.
Oh, I told him, I said, you're responsible for at least 2 of the touchdowns that we got.
Well, Raver, I have a feeling that if things work out the way we think they're going to work out tomorrow night, that the Cardinal side will be pumping.
We better be pumping. Y'all bring it on,
Yes.
bring it on. We got to
I
do
think
it.
we'll be pumping.
And we can have fun tomorrow night. Well, we got to work tomorrow night.
Right.
And hopefully by next week we'll be there and be jovial at the homecoming. And Chris is right. Homecoming is after you've been away for a while or the last game of the season. One or the other. Okay,
Well,
got it.
I look forward to
Missionaries. What do missionaries do?
missionaries.
They go and most of them go to help the people of that area in feeding, in medical, in spiritual, and just to bring them hope.
We've seen movies with missionaries in them for years and years and years, right? You always see the old movies, and they were missionaries, and they're non-combatants. They're in areas where people need help. It may be a warring faction between tribes or whatever, things that are just not. But you're right. They're there to feed, to medical is a big deal.
Yep.
They may or may not be doctors, but many of them got some medical training. And when you're in a situation like that, it doesn't matter how much medical training you got, as long as you know how to stick a needle in, you've got something that you can do. You're not necessarily a medical person, but you know how to do first aid and help people and teach. Missionary folks are there to teach as well, right? In a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Teach religion if necessary, but they teach reading and writing as well. I've seen that. When hostilities happen, it's generally considered the appropriate thing for leave the missionaries alone. That's what you're supposed to do. Your credentials apparently don't mean so much anymore. Our government is aware of the kidnapping of an American Christian missionary in the West African nation of Niger. He's likely been taken north to Islamic State-controlled areas where an offshoot of ISIS is operating. ISIS operating in Africa. Couple of questions. Number one, why are they in Africa? I don't get that. But number two, why are they still alive? I thought that we killed them or rendered them neutral, or we took care of the ISIS situation. How are they moving down to Africa to work their dirty deeds? And why are they doing this? Well, there's a reason. They're looking for ransom money. Some people they kill outright, other people they kidnap, and they think if they kidnap the highest ranking missionary around, they can get some money from our government's not going to pay it. We don't pay ransoms for anybody. We might exchange prisoners. Now you can call that paying them. Yeah, it is. But if we got combatant prisoners of war, then we have many times swapped them out for both civilian and other military people. Those at the U.S. Embassy claim they're working with the locals in Niger in an effort to get the man returned safely. What that means is they're asking the thugs how much money it will take to get him back. They're raising money to buy him back.
Huh.
Now, the philosophy, God will do anything to get him back for his family, for us, for him. What does this do? Does this say, okay, you get him back, you've paid $100,000. If you're richer, you can get more money. If he's worth it, then the thugs will ask for more money. What does this do? Does it promote them doing more like that? We know this is what's happened with the Somali pirates because people were paying them off. And what happened? More and more kept coming and coming and coming until now we're having to do very drastic things. What would be your mentality with the church? I ask tough questions, don't I?
Well, the church is obviously there for charity,
Yes.
and I don't recall any missionaries from a church being bought back. Lack of a better term.
They won't tell you.
No. Because they're there, they know in their hearts why they're there. They know the dangers they may face when they get over there, and they accept those challenges. But to go back to your question, why is ISIS still there? I don't think you can you cut the head off, you're supposed to they're supposed to die. These radical groups, I don't see it that way because they go, okay, well, we've gotten this, the top dog's gone. Now second in command is going to be the top dog. Third command.
We were for a while.
We were
because as soon as number one went down, we took out number two.
Yeah.
It got to that old joke about Leroy. Give the ball to Leroy. I don't want that ball. No, everybody else was getting massacred on the ball field, so he didn't want the ball. And a lot of the lower folks were saying, "I will be next." That's a death sentence. So hopefully that's what they were doing. But no, they moved down to Africa. There's no competition. There's nobody fighting them in Africa.
No, they're strictly for charity, but I think anywhere that evil has a chance to spread their evilness, and in this case, make money.
That's what they're doing is making money. Same thing the Somali pirates are doing until we started killing them. We got boats out there that are decoys. You know that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
They got another one. Was it yesterday? They got another boat.
Yeah.
Whew.
This was off the Pacific, I believe.
Those are the drug boats.
Trump not playing.
Yeah.
You not playing.
I think what in Africa with the thugs that are operating in Africa, and with what we've done with Benjamin Netanyahu of late, and the position that our government is in with Israel at this point in time, turn to him for some assistance. Netanyahu, his band, that group dates way back when they've gone in to deal with terrorists in hostage situations. All of the terrorists died. That's things worked. They took no prisoners. We don't need prisoners. Prisoners do us no good whatsoever. They claim that, we take them down there in Gitmo, we'll get information. No, people you're catching and putting in Gitmo, they're not smart enough to have information. They weigh it down on a list. And those that are up high, they don't mind dying for it. They don't care. They're not going to give it up.
They're going to go after, and how they find it out, I'm not sure, but they'll go after an American or someone from Europe where they think money is going to pay to get Lee back.
Y'all better get your wallets out. That's all I've got to say.
It is all about the money.
I'd rather y'all just smuggle me a bunch of ammo and plenty of things that the barrel melts down. I can load up the alligator and fire another round. Today, offshore northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. They're 5 seconds apart. Not bad. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop tomorrow. Northerly winds about 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet again. And they're just going to be a little smoother tomorrow. Sounds and rivers of light chop. Saturday, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Go fishing and bring me some.
Oh, okay. Today, sunny with a high near 71, winds becoming northwest 5 to 9, and with wind gusts as high as 16. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 44. Friday, sunny with a high near 69. Friday night, clear with a low around 40. And Saturday, sunny with a high near 67.
You know, you folks have not taken advantage of what we did here a couple of days ago. The effort that we went through a couple of days ago. The phones were not working. Our newest bestest friend is another guy named Chris.
Charlie.
Well, the phone is working
Yes,
now.
Chris the cable guy.
And Chris, my cable guy, you weren't here yesterday. I spent some very good quality time with the gentleman on the business side. Came
Yes.
over here. He got here early
Mhm.
and he left late. And he made sure everything in this house was working. It was.
Good man.
It was worth keeping. Marine came here as a Marine and stayed. So that's always a wonderful thing to be doing. Charlie's back, and Charlie was going to go get some coffee and a donut and a slice of pie. Did you get all that done, Charlie?
No.
What's wrong with you?
Hey, no, I have a question about you that's actually a compliment to you, but where's Kelly?
Kelly is still on a leave. She's trying to get over. She has some things she was trying to work out, so she's still taking her leave.
Oh, so I don't know what her situation is. I like it. Yeah, it is what it is. I like her.
I like
so,
her.
Hey, well, there you go. I'm actually, I've been just studying you, Rayford. Did you want to do like radio or television? You were involved in law enforcement, right? But did you want to do this broadcasting?
I never wanted to do a talk radio show. I had no clue, no desire, none whatsoever. And because I was a matter of fact an officialdom type of individual. News was it. If I was going to be in broadcast, it was going to be news. I actually did top 40 radio at one time as a DJ, not in a club, on the radio, where real DJs are.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay, you had times you had you had to do it all. You had to go rip what.
So you're talking hardcore FM, not that AM.
Well, this was actually AM before FM was available.
Oh, you know what? Okay, so you lost all credibility, but go ahead.
No. There was no FM. FM lost credibility. That was elevator music. That's all that was. FM stations were nothing but before your time was elevator music. Yeah, top 40. You talking about WABC? Go ahead and tell them that was not real radio, or WLS in Chicago.
I apologize.
That was radio.
All right, I get it.
Okay, so way before.
Did you say WABC Radio New York?
I did not work there. No. I'm just saying.
Is that the station you were referring to?
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. That was a clear channel.
I know. I followed them earlier.
That was
something really cool going on.
That was
one of their hosts.
That was a 50,000. The AM sides of WABC at 77. WABC was a top 40 radio station, hardcore, played great music, and had a 50,000 watts nighttime signal that could be heard the entire East Coast. And points beyond. WLS in Chicago, I used to listen to them as well, 50,000 watt clear channel. WAPE in Jacksonville, Florida, I can listen to them once I got south of Charleston because they had a directional signal that would not allow them to come north because their station interfered with other stations. There were all sorts of things that were done with AM back in the day to make them, the clear channel folks, not interfere with any local radio stations. Okay, now, what else are you studying me about? Because you're probably...
So I'm not studying you. Okay, so
you said
WABC Radio New York, correct?
Yep.
So you know Curtis Sliwa, he's the founder of the Guardian Angels.
Yep.
So he's running against Zoran Mondani and Andriy Comio. What are your thoughts on that?
There is not the citizens of New York City are going to lose. It does not matter what happens.
Well, okay, so if they vote for Zondani.
Lost.
I'm sorry, Mamdani.
Mondani.
Actually, can I share something with you?
Sure, may as well.
Remember I told you I was up in this job working for this organization where one of the owners was a translator in Afghanistan, a Muslim, and you should take the job. Remember when you said that?
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, I'm taking the job. They offered it to me. So I'm just curious. So do you think New York is going to fail, or do you think they're going to vote this guy in and then say, you know what? This is a disaster.
It's going to be a disaster, but it's not the first disaster they've had, and they will get over it as we all get over the elected people that we put in office, and we find out later that they're not worth a crap. We work around it. They're still one person. It's one man or one woman in charge. The cities, the people will survive. They just have to get beyond them.
Have you ever ran for anything?
The county line.
But have you ever thought about running? I'm not sure if you feel young or old. I don't know what you feel. You ever thought running for governor or something like that?
Why? I would have to be nice.
All right.
That
Take
would be
care. Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay. That would be an issue.
Yeah, county line to keep anybody from catching me.
Yeah.
That
what
would
I'm running
definitely be
for.
an issue.
The hatred for this president that we have is continuing. And that hatred includes anyone who supports Trump, not just Trump.
Right.
They don't just hate Trump. They hate the other 52% of the population that hates Trump or supports Trump. They hate them too. And we've got a hater on the line too. Hey, Theo,
No,
how
we
are
don't.
you?
Yeah, Theo's
Theo's my buddy. I like Theo.
I'm gonna let him say.
Mega deplorables, how you doing?
See, we can
Good.
call each other names. Like I call him obstructionist. He gets in the way of progress, and I am a
Yeah.
deplorable because he just doesn't like
Hey,
me.
Theo,
Hey, Lee, can you make a note for me, please?
Yes,
Lee.
I will. I'm on it.
Can you ask Chris Miller if he's related to Stephen Miller from the Mega administration? Because it sounds like they're both promoting legalized brutality.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we'll ask him, but he's not.
With Chris with his job in football, and Chris Miller putting zip ties on 12-year-old kids.
Yeah.
All
I'm sure
right?
he'll be.
Ask him if he's related to him. And if he is, tell him to go and give that Stephen Miller a nice hug. Okay, he needs a hug, that guy.
Hold
So,
on.
Hey, Theo, let me just say this. I just want to, so last night, among many conversations I was having, I was talking about Theo.
Uh-oh.
Theo on my Facebook page where we're thanking all the donors. Theo was the first name.
Oh, Theo's
he's down, and I just
he's a great guy, by the way.
and that's what I said. I said someone asked me about Theo. I said, let me just tell you something. One of the nicest men I've ever broke bread with and met.
I have, Theo and I have fun sparring. Let's just put it that way. And I do anyway. And Theo, I think, does the same thing. He likes to try to get my goat, and he knows where I'll tie it. So he does from time to time. But I guarantee you right now, and I've got Theo's telephone number over here, and he's got mine. If I needed something, if I truly needed something, if I needed a ride from here to Wilmington to go to the doctor, if I called him, I have zero doubt that he would be at my door very shortly.
Yep.
Theo, am I right?
yes.
I
Thank you.
knew the answer. Yeah. I'm sorry, Theo. Go ahead. I just wanted to mention
So,
that to
Lee,
you.
one more question for
Yes, I've got it. Go ahead.
Miller. Would you ask him to report on the San Francisco 49er quarterback? He got injured, and the Cincinnati quarterback, and tell us what the injuries are and how long they're going to be out. How long they're going to be out? Ask him that. They'll like to know and see what he says.
Well, I guarantee you we won't have to ask him because he's listening.
Yeah.
10 to 1 is listening.
I'm sure that
when he calls on the results of the game.
Okay, well, stand by because good chances he'll be calling in after you hang up.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
you ended up with saying something nice about the veterans
I love the veterans. Yes.
just before. But are you talking about the white veterans, or are you talking about the black and the women?
I am.
Because you guys talk about, you close your station every day by wake and woke.
And it seems like a couple of black generals were let go, a couple of women generals were let go because of the woke stuff. So what are you talking about?
I am talking about every man, every woman, every race, every creed, every religion that signed that oath, raised their hands, and said that they would defend the country. And I got to tell you that the other day when I was over at the Vietnam Veterans Wall, I met veterans of all races, and I shook every one of their hands and said, "Thank you for your service." They were Vietnam veterans. I said, "Thank you and welcome home." I don't see color. I don't see.
Okay.
I don't see.
I'm glad to hear that, Chris. I like that. Okay, but that's not what we got going over here, and you know it. All right. So Lee, I'm back to you, baby. I know you're huffing and puffing. You hate to hear the truth, don't you?
About what? If you're talking about football injuries.
Let's talk about Bad Bunny.
What about Bad Bunny?
You didn't want him for the halftime show, right?
No, I don't care for him. I'll be watching the other halftime show.
So let me ask you something, okay? Because you want this country to get along. This is a half-hour show. The entertainer is picked by the host city. It's a lousy half-hour show. This man is a superstar. He's all over the world. And this is what's happening. Charlie Kirk's wife and Turning Point USA are they're going to go out of their way to give another show.
Right.
Why is that happening? Why are they doing that? This never happened before. This man is he's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico is part of this country, okay, territory. So why is this going on? And you're dividing the country when you're doing that kind of stuff. In other words, you can't handle a half-hour show with Bad Bunny?
All right, let me just put it to you this way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone has their preference, and Bad Bunny was chosen by the NFL to be the halftime celebrity.
He was chosen by
you hush up and let me finish.
The Super Bowl was played, not by NFL. Go ahead.
No, NFL. The NFL commissioner came out and said there would be no changes. Bad Bunny would be performing.
Okay.
And everyone has the opportunity. If you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, turn the channel, watch something else.
Exactly.
And so, me, preferably, Turning Point USA is having a spectacular halftime show. I will be watching that because that's my preference. It doesn't matter who they get.
To the country when you're doing stuff like that.
We're doing what? Turn into somebody at what?
Okay, all right. Okay, you're missing the point. Very good.
Must be.
Okay, I got one more thing for Rayford.
He's asleep. Go ahead.
No, he's not asleep. He's woke.
No, I'm not woke. I'm awake.
What's happening at the White House right now, Mr. Independent?
What is happening at the White House? A bunch of stuff is happening at the White House. You're talking about
what's demolition there for?
Oh, that's to tear down something that somebody has said has got holes in it. I don't know. Okay, let me just tell you what you missed earlier. What my thoughts are. I don't know. I don't care. I don't like the fact.
What do you mean you don't care?
Hold on. Let me finish. I don't like the fact that we're getting donations. That's the good part, but I don't like it because we're getting donations for something. Do we think that, like I said earlier, do we think that if a bunch of people around here get a donation to put up a statue and give it to the county, but they want to build a statue with private money to honor the Knights of the KKK? Do you think that I will put up with that? Absolutely not. There should never be something where people can just suddenly put up all the money they got because they got rich, deep pockets and they got too much money just so that they can do something that they want to do on a public piece of property. That's my opinion.
If you get to the sound bite, and I'm sure Lee knows about the sound bite, he sounded off by saying, I will not touch that building because of the historic remembrance and everything that goes with it. He will not touch that building. She'll show you the sound bite. All of a sudden, You're destroying a historic building that a lot of memories have been made, okay? And you're destroying it to put a bowling room over there by donations, just like you said, millionaires putting donations, okay? And whose building is going to, this was America's building. How did you go and do that without any permission or any kind of stuff there?
It's a great question.
How did you do something like that?
Great
Rutherford?
question. It's a great question. I do not know because he's the president.
No, you know what he is? You voted for a president, but you got a king. That's what happened.
Okay.
Oh, here we go with the
Destroying a historic site to put a ballroom there after he said he wasn't going to touch that building. Okay? This is what you voted for. Okay?
All right.
Okay, take it easy.
Bye.
Have a blessed day.
I just want to say one thing real quick before you go on.
We got number 2 too.
Oh, I forgot real quick. Every sport has its injuries. Go ahead.
Yeah, except scuba diving. Hello. Good morning. Who's this?
Bit by a shark.
Yeah, hi, it's Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
So very quickly, complete change. So I guess EBT, SNAP benefits, money that the federal government gives to, I think it's like 50 million or maybe 60 million people,
Not me.
to get like food benefits. And there's a lot of outrage online where they're like, listen, you can't cut me off on November. It seems like everyone's going to get cut off. And they're talking about breaking like to Walmart and stealing stuff. Like, I'm going to take food. You owe me my food. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I
Yes,
know
I'm
that
aware.
some benefits are out there. I don't. There have been some threats made about people going to go break into stores.
Well, doesn't
Yeah.
that,
No. I think they're literally cutting off every food stamp benefit.
I don't think
they were.
No. Okay, you know what? Okay, I can send you a link. No, I'm serious.
Well-
So all food stamps are federally funded. They're not state funded.
Well, I
So
know,
it comes from the federal government.
Charlie. The states were sent letters from the program that runs it from the federal government.
Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, they were sent letters months ago that if there was a possible shutdown, that it could possibly affect November's
Food stamps.
food stamps.
Equivalent of food stamps.
So this isn't anything that just popped up and they're like, oh my gosh, look what's happening. They were notified months ago about it.
Right, but isn't it like most of the states, the people of the states, they're not going to get food stamps?
If it happens,
I'm looking at it right now. At least 25 states plan to cut off food aid benefits in November. 25 states out of how many states with 50?
If the government is still shut down.
Yeah, it's complete shutdown. So what do you think these people are going to do? They don't save their money. They get like $200 or $500 a month. They don't they use all of it. So what do you think they're going to do? I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. Steal.
Well, they don't have to steal, Charlie.
They're not going to wait in line at a food bank because they don't have time for that.
They have time to steal. They have time to stand in line to get it legitimately for free without breaking any laws. They go to outreach centers. They go to food banks. They can get the same thing. Why would they have to steal it when people are willing to give it to them from their hearts?
Hold on. Very respectfully, you're basically saying, "I wish this." No,
I know this. I know this because our church has an outreach center. We talked about it last night at a meeting that I happened to chair, and we have supplies available, and we have seen an increase, as has all the outreach centers and food pantry banks. What it does take though is individuals who have the means to provide cans of food. Cans of food are cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Very cheap.
You go to the big box stores, you can get a bunch of them for $1 or whatever.
So we can help each other out.
But when you're on EBT and you've got 3 or 4 kids and you get $2,000 a month, you buy certain things that are luxury items to you. So you're accustomed to those items. You've had those items the last 5 or maybe 6 or 10 years. But now that it's cut off and you have to buy basic spaghetti, you're not going to settle for that.
But then it comes down to using common sense. Do you have wants? Wait, no, hold on, Charlie. Do you have wants or do you have needs? A luxury item is a want. Food for your children is a need.
And for those who do not understand that, and they have these wants, and they've decided they want to break into places, and they get caught, then they're not going to have to worry about food stamps or anything else. They go to jail. Their food will be furnished for them. They will have to worry about their families, and that's where the problem lies. Even today, with food stamps, the families are quite often cut off because the breadwinner is a thief, and he gets caught, and he goes to jail, or he's dealing drugs. He gets caught. He goes to jail. That hurts the family because they're not the ones getting the food stamps. They're not the ones eligible. It's the guy that is in jail. That's
Hey, can I
fact
share
of
something?
life.
Can I quickly share something with you guys?
Sure.
Sure.
So there are a lot of people that take advantage. They're on food stamps. There are other people that take advantage of government subsidies. I remember during COVID, there were people that got these PPP loans, individuals that maybe had 5 employees or 10 employees or 100 employees. They got hundreds of thousands of free money, and then all of it was excused because they figured out a way to play the government. I know a few people that did that. They got lots and lots and lots of loans and lots of money. So, and they don't have to pay it back. You know, you can actually go online and you can put someone's name. You can say who got COVID relief PPP loan money. You know, maybe you know it was one of your neighbors. You put their name in there, you'll be surprised at how much money they got and how much of that money was forgiven.
Well, if that's the case, there's one gentleman here in town with a business, and if he got it, I don't know what he did with it.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys should just Google it. You'll be surprised what you find.
All right.
I'm like, oh my God, this is my old boss. He got that much money and he didn't have to pay it back. Good for him. Good for her. Anyway, hey, Rayford, I'm a fan of yours. I think you've got a great show. I really enjoy you three. I don't know why you guys don't have like thousands of viewers, but it's probably going to happen. Anyway, have a good day.
Okay, you too, Charlie. Have a blessed day.
We have thousands.
I had 47,000 at one time.
Yes, yes.
I started out, so I'm. Who was calling?
I believe that's Jennifer.
And then just real quick for Theo's question on the injuries to Joe Burrows and Tom Purdy. They have toe injuries, turf toe. And
they got 9 more.
Burrows is having a little harder time, but Purdy is a week to week.
Wait, can't you get a toe injury just getting up and walking to the bathroom in the middle of the night and hitting
I
the
have.
door or something?
You can. These are
But I peeled the paint off the walls when I got it.
these are called turf toe injuries.
Hey, Jennifer, you ever stumped your toe on the way to the bathroom in the middle of the night?
Oh, I have, and when I do, I learned that I can speak in about 15 different languages.
And I will guarantee you that even if I didn't understand them, I would know what you were doing. Or what was
You
wrong.
would know exactly what I was talking about. But so I've been listening a little bit this morning, and I'm not going to comment or anything on anything of all this. I'm bringing joy this morning, so we're not going. I'm going to leave, let the show go out on a high note. Have y'all seen the video that I put on Facebook of my husband?
Uh-oh.
Yes. It is
Uh-oh.
wonderful.
I'm scared.
My husband walking
Really?
Up walking.
Congratulations.
Yay.
8.5 years.
Really?
And yeah. And now Terry has always been able, and Rayford, you saw this when we were at the reunion together.
Yep.
Terry could walk a little bit, but I had to hold on to him
Yeah.
because of this balance. And so we were at his primary doctor up here, and I was telling him, he said, well, is there any issues or anything? And I said, well, I just wish the man wasn't so give out. I said, the least little bit of anything, he just is just so give out. And so the doctor said, well, would you be willing to try some therapy? And Terry and I both kind of looked at each other because
Uh-oh.
of our past experience. Now, when Terry was in Greenville, He had wonderful therapy. Wonderful. Could not have asked for it to be any better. When he came home, the therapy he had at the house was wonderful. But then it ended, it ended. So years later, one of his doctors over there suggested therapy. We went to therapy one day in Jacksonville, and so help me, I will swear to it, the therapist looked at Terry's records, looked at us, and said, well, I don't know what he expects me to be able to do with you.
Oh, really?
She watched us transfer him from the wheelchair onto the exam table and back, and she said, well, it appears to me that you know what you're doing. I don't know what he expects. I'll just submit this back. And we're like, okay. So we said, well, we'll try. We get into therapy up here, and the very first, within 15 minutes, the therapist said, well, let me see what you can do. And he comes back with this walker. Now, when Terry came home from Greenville, they sent him home with a walker, a stationary walker, 4-leg walker. Well, this guy comes over with a walker with wheels on the front, tennis balls on the back.
Yep.
And I looked at him and I said, are you sure? And he said, well, what kind do you have? And when I told him, he said, it's no wonder the man can't walk. Every time he raises that walker up, he loses his balance.
Yeah.
So we got him a new walker. He's going to therapy 3 times a week and doing wonderful.
Yay.
So,
That's awesome news.
Not all doctors, not all dentists, not all cops, not all lawyers. They're not all equal. They all have to take the same types of exams and whatever, but it ain't all in your book learning. It's all in everything else that you continue learning and how you perform.
It's honestly amazing. And no, he can't go out here and just walk out of the apartment and go get in the car.
Yet.
He's still going to have that wheelchair. But he can walk in the apartment carefully with me making sure he doesn't fall. He can use those muscles. He's regaining strength. So there you have it. Not everything is doom and gloom.
Nope.
There's good
I'm happy. That's the best news I've had in a long time, Jennifer.
That's awesome news.
So I was just going to leave y'all on that.
Thank you, ma'am. Keep the faith.
All right. Y'all
Have a blessed day.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
bye, Jennifer. If Theo's still listening, tune in tomorrow because I'm going to wear a special shirt just for you, Theo.
You have to wear red.
It'll be red.
I don't know what to think, but
I don't either.
we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I started 22 minutes ago talking about the people who don't like Donald Trump.
Right.
And it extends that the people who don't like Donald Trump, they really despise the people that do like Donald Trump. Or even, as we keep hearing, you voted for him, even the people that voted for him, whether we like him or not, or whatever. But the hatred, I don't recall seeing a group of people other than the Vietnam vets who were as despised. And you still can't give me the reason for it. You can give me excuses for it, but you can't give me reasons for the hatred that were despised as a group of individuals as the people they call MAGA.
That's for sure.
I'm just not understanding how and why that's the case. We all, as you said just a few minutes ago, you have your choices, what you want to do and what you don't want to do. I'm not forced into watching TV. If there's only, back in the day when I could get 2 or 3 TV stations and that's all I could get, and I didn't like any of them, I had a 4th channel. There was WXII. Oh, no, that's in Winston. There's WCTI. There's WITN, WNCT here. Those are the primary channels we got here. I got one more. WOFF. And then I do something else.
Oof.
off.
Oh,
WOFF. That's where I would go.
well, I think we have a response from Chris Miller in reference to Theo's message. So go ahead with it.
Chris. He's back.
Good morning again. I was called out, and so I wanted to answer the call and address a couple of things from our friend Theo. And no, I'm not related to Stephen Miller, and so we can squash that right away. And then, but I did want to say one thing positive. I do hope Theo finds happiness in his life, and because he just seems to be a very, very unhappy individual for many, many years. So I hope and pray he finds happiness. I hope he finds. I know he's a Mr. Casanova, so he's had many girlfriends in his life. So maybe he can find one of his girlfriends and take him out on a date and have a nice night. So I hope and pray for that for the gentleman.
Well, Lee's available.
Lee's making a face.
Hey.
Lee's making a face. Hey, Chris, if you are related, if there's going to be a Steve Miller, you'd probably want to be with the one that's the Steve Miller band.
There you go.
That's the first thing I thought of when he
Rock
said
and roll.
Steve Miller. I was just like, what?
Rock and roll. That's probably before Chris's time.
Yeah.
Never really got into that. Never really got. And on that note, can we please this? I'm gonna continue to complain about this. Can we please get rid of the AC/DC and Guns N' Roses before high school football games?
Thank you.
We're working on it. Stay
those
tuned.
Those bands were not cool then. They're not cool now. Give us some Metallica, some Ozzy Osbourne,
Yes.
Nirvana.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Kiss. I'll even take Kiss.
Stay tuned.
Maybe some Bon Jovi.
Yes.
But enough with the Guns N' Roses and AC/DC. They just were not cool bands.
I want Petula Clark. Forget about it. Just play Petula Clark. Okay? Thank you. So we'll go downtown. Okay, Steve. Almost called him Steve. Okay, Chris.
Hey, don't insult me like that.
Well, I know a lot of Steves, including the brother-in-law. They're good people.
I felt this when Theo called against Chris. I'm learning my signals.
Bye.
Personal foul.
Hey,
Personal bye. We have a line too. Who do we have?
Charlie.
Charlie, you're making more appearances than I'm making.
Charlie.
I apologize. What I think would have been a better slogan other than "Make America Great Again."
And what would that be?
I think it should just been "Make America Great." Because I was like, they turned this thing into this wild. I don't know. I watched these people, the rhetoric, Nazi, Republicans, white people, fascists, Hitler. It's just disturbing. Anyway, it should have just been "Make America Great."
The other one worked very well for him. So, whatever works.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thanks, Charlie.
Okay, phone calls are quit.
All right. Yes.
The phones work.
The phone calls are quitting
I
today.
feel illegally touched by Theo.
An Atlanta-based accountant has been arrested. Got it a couple of weeks back from Atlanta. He drove all the way to North Carolina, and now he's been extradited to North Carolina for what he did while he was here.
Oh.
He ripped down a Trump banner belonging to a woman who lived right next door to her son, who sits on the porch, and he owns a river rafting business in the Nantahala Gorge. Mark Thomas was on his porch. Some dude drives by, stops, gets out, and rips a banner that says "Vote Trump" or whatever it was on his mother's house, at his mother's house next door. He was surprised.
Wow.
The guy gets back into his car, starts to drive away, then he comes back, gets out again, or starts to get out again. Well, good old boy Mark Thomas takes good old boy rifle and fires 2 rounds in the air. Well, dummy from Georgia gets back in his little car with the sunroof open and takes his pistol and just starts shooting it out and puts a hole through the guy's house and into a refrigerator and some other shots. Nobody got hit. But said idiot, who was caught on camera, didn't have a whole lot to do. But anyway, they ran him down. They found him down about a month later. His name's Benjamin Michael Campbell. He's 38 from Atlanta. They tracked him down. They arrested his butt. He's now facing charges that include felony assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or inflict serious injury, discharging a firearm within an enclosure to incite fear, and willful and wanton injury to personal property. He's in jail without bond in North Carolina.
Good.
After driving all the way here, and he's an accountant. This Mr. Thomas, he's just a good old boy. He's like, I expected this dude to be one of them weird characters. I didn't expect him to be a highly educated, trained accountant. I expected somebody to get out of the car who does something like that looking like a 20-year-old radical idiot. I didn't expect somebody with supposedly common sense at age 38 running an accounting firm.
Just doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. I was shocked when I read the story, and then I'm like, you've got to be kidding. You drove all the way from Georgia, and you brought your pistol with you, which is fine. I support that. You won't be using one again because after these felony convictions, you're done, dude. You may as well sell that pistol.
Rayford, you need to watch some of the live feeds on some of these protests at night, like especially Portland.
Well, they're not arresting them.
No,
though.
look at their costumes.
I understand that.
And some of the people that are out there acting stupid, and they interview them, and they have these fantastic jobs and titles, and they're out there dressed as a cartoon character.
I keep waiting.
I don't get it.
You know, some of the stuff that I watch, you know what I want? What I really want to do is I want to pull up to one of those road checking stations one night where the police are there.
Why?
Yeah. I just want to pull up there and say, I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm not rolling my window down for nothing.
You're going to say about twice before they pop that window open.
Then I'm going to start laughing as I roll the window down. I just think that would be fun. At least they would give them something to laugh at. Because when you sit on those checking stations late at night, you're looking for something funny.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when you had like a deputy like Butch Egger
I don't remember.
or you had Jerry Reed out there, or you had Dickie Hood, Highway Patrolman. Go ahead, say that to them. First stop is the ER to get that stitch in your head before going
I
to the
did get
magistrate.
pulled over on my way. Actually, I was headed for this area, a little pond up there at
Right.
Queens Creek area. There's Quail Haven. Where we had a month or two earlier found a woman who had been murdered and her daughter who had been murdered, and their son and grandson is the one who did the killing. He was an ex-highway patrolman. Had been fired from the patrol, but he killed both of them. And then a couple of months later, they called me, the sheriff at the time, or probably Bill Woodward called me. He was a detective. Need you to check this pond up here. That means nasty old water. You go get your dive gear on and go looking for stuff. Just looking for, in case you can find something, some kind of evidence. So here I go. I'm headed out 24. Got my bathing suit on. I got my van full of junk. And I don't have a clue why he pulled me over, but it was a state trooper that pulled me over. I figured it was somebody I knew. He was a brand new one. As he walked up, I said, "You can't give me a ticket." As he's walking up, my window was down. He said, "What?" I said, "You can't give me a ticket." "Why not?" I said, "Because I don't have a driver's license. If I don't have a driver's license, you can't give me a ticket, right?" And then he walked up closer and he looked at me and he said, and I said, "Uh-oh, I don't know you, do I?" He said, "No." but you're getting ready to.
Oh,
Like, okay, here you go. Then I got my ID. I didn't have my driver's license. I literally did not have my driver's license. I left the wallet home, but I had my badge and stuff.
right.
And he said, "What are you doing?" And I told him. He says, "Well, go on." And I don't think I was speeding, but I can't remember why he pulled me over. I mean, I had no reason to be speeding. I had an old Ford van, so that wasn't conducive to speeding anyway.
Maybe you had a light out, maybe.
No, I didn't have any of that stuff. I don't remember why it
No.
was. Who knows?
No,
Who knows?
We want to talk about tomorrow's guest.
We're going to talk about a little bit of tomorrow. We're going to have fun in here.
Yeah, we hope tomorrow
Now,
too. We have other news.
Mr. Buchanan, I'm calling you out.
Uh-oh.
Who else can I call out from that era? If anybody knows Wormy Kavanaugh, also known as Graham Kavanaugh, over at Richlands, I'm calling him out tomorrow too. Y'all need to be listening to the show tomorrow, beginning at 0800. Who else from that era could I call out? Maybe Sheriff Brown. He's doing much better these days. I saw him last week.
Up preaching.
Up and walking around too. I'm calling him out.
Wow.
Y'all know who these individuals are, so y'all need to let them know that at 8:00 tomorrow morning, any other lawmen, current or past, you might want to. Sheriff Miller, I'm calling you out too.
Huh?
Robin Knapp, get off the pot, boy.
Oh.
Calling you out. And I know I'm going to have a retired NIS guy, and he was with the State Bureau.
Tony Cummings.
Tony,
I remember
get
that
off the
name.
pot. You need to be watching tomorrow morning.
I'd be interested to tune in.
This is going to be fun.
Where are you going to be?
I'll be here.
I'm going to have a special guest in here. Y'all might want to sit down over there because I'm not sure I can muffle your laughter.
Oh, yeah, but Chris, we might as well just bring our breakfast biscuits and our coffee and just make room on the couch.
It's going to be funny. Because we got a special guest coming in tomorrow morning, and we're going to relive some old times.
History.
And if you don't think cops had fun and amongst the seriousness that turns out to be funny later on, you get to relive some of it tomorrow.
Good.
Meanwhile, have a great rest of your day. If you go fishing, please think of me.
Bring him some fish.
No, just let me know how it was and where you were fishing, what you caught, because I like to share in other people's good times.
There you go.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, and it'll be getting closer to being even brighter and earlier, later, in a couple of weeks, a week and a half. We'll talk more about that, and we're going to talk more about some special stuff for tomorrow night too at the Jacksonville High School Cardinals football game. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll have some great news. And you people out there, get your best together and get ready to go.
That's right. Come support.
You're live and local Real Talk, where we are awake. We are never woke. Don't want to be woke ever. I'm going to be awake, and that's nothing racial about it. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
Have a blessed day.